Rockpile. I wanted to chat with you real quick about something that seems pretty obvious, but sometimes not so much, I guess. Years ago, I was starting off my career making ponds. I actually started my pond business doing liners with real rocks and then, stacking them up on terraces. And this is a process that is super easy to do. So if you're looking for a business to start, get it going with liner ponds. There's a lot of systems out there. When I started, there was just like one or two companies that provided the products for that kind of thing. The company I worked with their products was called Aquascape Design, if I remember right. And so, anyways, yeah, that was the way it started. But let's talk about concrete. Concrete cracks. I had a guy tell me that years ago. He said, one thing you can be sure of, concrete will crack. So you want to tell it where. Thus the obvious expansion joints that we see everywhere when you're looking wherever you walk on sidewalks and parking areas. And I just want to point out something we can see as evidenced here on the job I'm working on. Let's turn this camera around. So we see this deck pour for the leading into the garage here on this nice home out here. I got these big expansion joint locations that they've created in here, troweled in, and we don't see any cracks per se, really. It looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. They're telling it where to crack. Same with the sidewalk over there. You see those segments, 4 feet or so, 5 feet maybe apart. Same thing with the neighbors. But then we come to this little patch here, and it's got a sort of a curve to it. And lo and behold, there's a crack over here. You could almost predict that. So wherever it starts to feather out, it's going to have some forces applied to it, and you want to have an expansion joint there. If you don't, it'll do that. Same thing. We come through here. They did some nice flagstone here. They poured it under base probably, and then just laid this in here and put it together as a puzzle piece kind of a thing. So we have the concrete around the house poured in place. Got the drains. They're looking okay. The finish is a little funny. Here we have another crack right here. And so it's important to sort of gauge where your expansion joint should go. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have another one right there. Had there been one right here, we probably wouldn't have that crack right there. So same thing right here. You can see where there's a differentiation in the angle of that. You can predict it. There will be a crack right there. So as you're laying out your concrete slabs, your hardscape, and I'm no expert, but I know enough to be able to tell you concrete cracks. So you tell it where. That's about halfway between these two ends. It's exactly about halfway. Need another expansion joint there. Right here we see it in the one that leads into the back of the house. Halfway through about another crack. Good to have expansion joints. Same thing over here as we move down to this other segment. There's two cracks actually, one here and one here. And then another place where it feathers out, just like in the front yard I was talking about, crack again. So you got to tell it where to crack. And it's better to have too much than not enough. If you're not going to be putting a lot of cracks in it, then you're going to have to increase your steel. And even then, and maybe the thickness of the concrete, maybe do the PSI higher too. But the weight and the time of gravity working on concrete does its thing. Same thing over here we see. Nice segment here, but it feathers out. You could predict it. There'd be a crack right there. And so I would just like to point that out to you guys out there. We're still working on our rock work. We've done the demo down here, and we're going to continue working on. We're going to rebuild all this stuff, new steel everywhere, reconcrete everything, a lot of acrylic in the mix so we make sure it sticks. We're going to roughen up all the surfaces we're going to be putting it on. But anyway, just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit real quick on this little live shoot about doing concrete slabs and pours. If you're doing fake rock, you can create places where the structure of the rocks and boulders between them can have cracks, and therefore the expansion joints can sort of allow for that flux and movement over time. So anyway, there you go. Mr. Dave, if I can push the button here. Ooh, there we go. All right, back in action here. So Mr. Dave here on the Rock Pile talking about concrete and how it cracks. Make sure you get your expansion joints in there so you will have told the concrete where to crack. So anyway, Mr. Dave here, just giving you a little insight into some of the stuff I've noticed over the years. So hope you had a great day. Remember to go to henderson.podia.com. Learn how we do the fake rock stuff, free stuff you can download. Just need an email, and there's quite a bit of that actually. And you can also buy some stuff if you really want to dive into it. So remember to be thankful and forgiving. Two things and that I've tried to get more and more in my life, and having done so, there's more happiness that comes about by that. So I highly recommend forgiveness and gratitude. It's hard to be as grumpy when you're feeling grateful and you're really talking about how blessed you are with stuff. Last thing, get Jesus in your heart. He's coming back soon, so he can help you have a better life now, help you get through the hard times too. So anyway, God bless you guys. Thanks for watching my stuff. Hope you're having a good day. Send me a question or a comment whenever. All right, until next time, we'll see you later. Have a great day no matter what. Bye.